Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantam Vandeham Sri Guru Shuta Patakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavamsa Sri Rupam Sakrasatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sapadutam Bhajana Saitam Krishna Saitana Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Sakhanvitam Sam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kansana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priyam Panchakalpa Taru Vaisa Kripa Sindhuve Vasam Patitanam Pavani Bhu Vaisnavevo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktabinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prasamine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pasatyate Sakarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yes, Madam.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay. We did this part. We Lord who grant complete regression.
What is it?
Yes.
I just have one question. I forgot whether we discussed this or not. Like Dhruva Maharaj, when he saw the Lord, he immediately changed his desire, right? He didn't want the kingdom anymore. So still Lord fulfilled that desire, right? Like he didn't want it anymore.
Very good question. Thank you for asking it. I had the same question when I was studying earlier.
Mataji, can you repeat the question? I missed it. I'm sorry.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Mataji, I missed the question. I wanted to ask, repeat the question.
So I asked Mataji that Dhruva Maharaj, in the beginning, he had the desire that he wanted a kingdom bigger than Lord Brahma. And because of that, he was praying to the Lord, right? He did austerity and praying to the Lord. But when he actually saw the Lord in front of him, his desire changed. After getting his darshan of the Lord, he realized that what petty thing he was asking for. So his desire changed. He didn't want to have the kingdom anymore because he understood that is material. But we see that Lord still fulfilled his desire, that he gave him the Dhruva Loka. So my question is that his material desire changed. He didn't want that petty thing anymore, but still the Lord gave him the kingdom. He gave him the Dhruva Loka. Why? So that is my question.
Beautiful question. So the explanations are as follows. Reason number one, Dhruva made himself qualified to be given this Dhruvaloka, which is actually not a mundane world where it's going to be destroyed in the end of time, but it's actually a spiritual world. And therefore, the first reason is that Dhruva Maharaj became qualified. So all these austerities, when we perform, the main purpose is to ask for service. Even when we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we're asking the Lord to engage us in their service, right? We're invoking the blessings of the Lord and asking, begging the Lordships to engage us in service. So what happens in this case is when Krishna gives him Dhruvaloka, it is not to be considered as a material benediction, but it is considered to be service. Okay, first thing. Secondly, the nature of human beings is that we have certain needs, right? For example, Dhruva Maharaj is a Kshatriya. Whatever you see, even as a small boy, he had the Kshatriya tendency. Now you will see later on when the brother will be killed, again the Kshatriya thing will come back in him, and Brahma has to come and console Dhruva Maharaj, because he's going to again pick a fight with the Gandharvas who's going to kill his brother. So anyway, I'm not going to get into that now. But the point is that we all have natures. We all have needs. And therefore, when we approach the Lord asking for shelter, we're asking for security, position, sometimes we ask for husband, right? Some of us have that experience before marriage. We approach the Lord asking for a husband. So the point is the need of a human being is dependent on the nature of the individual. So therefore, Krishna, what Dhruva Maharaj wanted, externally speaking, he said, I want a kingdom bigger than Brahma. That was the initial prayer. Now, what is behind that prayer? Okay, so Krishna gave him what he needed as a Kshatriya, according to his nature. The third important point is that considering these two things, the qualification of the soul, how much the person has become ready and empowered to perform a service, which, this service needs to be performed. And Krishna engages qualified souls. Like yesterday, Kantya Prabhu was saying in the class how he was saying how these are positions, right? Sometimes there's nobody to become Brahma. Nobody's qualified. So Krishna himself takes that position and does the job. Similarly, now Krishna has found someone qualified like Dhruva Maharaj. So he's giving him the responsibility to do the service of taking care of Dhruva Loka. And okay, that one. Okay, the third point is, according to the nature and according to the qualification, Krishna also decides, what was the third point I was thinking? Okay, qualification and nature. Just missed my, the third point is basically Krishna's, I lost my train of thought. But along those lines of, according to our nature, he gives us certain security. Oh, yeah. The third point is that Krishna, unlike the demigods, he doesn't just give us whatever we ask. Krishna is very, very, very concerned Father. He's very careful about our intentions, not just our prayers. Any other demigod, we go and pray, oh, Rupam Dehi, Dhanam Dehi, and whatever, then they will give us whatever we are asking. But Krishna is not like that. He will notice and witness the need behind that request, behind that prayer. We may go and say, Krishna, please give me a lot of wealth. Please give me a lot of wealth. Krishna will look at the soul and say, poor him. He doesn't have any idea that what he wants is not wealth. What he wants is a deep sense of security, right? I want to find this beautiful prayer. Let me just find it and just share with you. So powerful prayer. If anybody remembers, I asked for strength and God gave me difficulties.
Is it the serenity prayer, Mataji?
No, I just found it. 1 second. Here. Okay, my prayer answered. This is a very powerful way to prove the point that Krishna is such a well-wisher and very intelligent well-wisher, okay? This is the thing. My prayer answered. I asked for strength. God gave me difficulties to face. I asked for wisdom, and Krishna gave me problems to solve. I asked for courage. Krishna gave me dangers to overcome. I asked for love, and Krishna gave me troubled people to help. I asked for favors, and Krishna gave me opportunities. I received nothing I wanted. I received everything I needed. My prayer has been answered. I don't know, this is not actually Vedanta Kesari, but I don't know who actually wrote it, but it's a very powerful way to summarize the mood of Krishna, that he'll always give us something spiritual, even if we approach him with material desires. For example, Dhruva Maharaj, his need was a sense of engagement and security and a sense of identification. Like he had a identity crisis. I want to be greater than Brahma. So Krishna said, well, your identity is you're my son, you're my child. Come to my world and take care of my world. So what Krishna is giving here is not mundane. Let us remember that. So what Krishna is giving is beyond what Dhruva Maharaj asked. Krishna always gives us more than we can imagine what we want. He always fulfills many purposes with one action. That's Krishna. So he fulfilled the purpose of giving Dhruva Maharaj shelter and security, which he wanted. And then he also engaged Dhruva Maharaj according to his qualification in a particular service that was required. Like, sometimes gurus do that. Some devotee arrives there and says, Guru Maharaj, I want to go to Vrindavan and live in, I'm done here working. And then the Guru Maharaj sees this person, they still have nature to maybe administer or whatever. And he says, hey, why don't you take care of this farmhouse that I have built, or whatever. I'm just saying, like, so the same thing, same thing with Krishna and Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra also. When Arjuna says, hey, I'll go away to the forest, I'll become sannyasi, I'll go retire, I'm done with all this, I'm going to go away. And then Krishna looks at Arjuna and he's like, come on, even if Arjuna will go to forest there also, he'll reign only. He'll start protecting all the animals, he'll gather all the sages, and he'll become a king there only, right? So Krishna says, hey, no, that's not the right thing for you. So that's Krishna. So 3 points. If somebody can, somebody can write down these 3 points and post it in the chat box and also save it. Snehavati Mataji, we can use this for the write up also. It's very important 3 points. Why did Krishna give Dhruva Maharaj even though he didn't want? Well, because Krishna is very smart. Krishna is very intelligent. It's not like, oh, Dhruva Maharaj, you don't want anything? Okay, fine. You get merged into me. He's not Shishupala. Merge into me. No, he says, no, be engaged. He still has the duties to perform. He still has service to perform. For many years, I've always had this attraction, sacrifice, martyrdom. And I always was inspired by the story of Dadichi Muni, because Dadichi Muni's attitude was like, please take me, take my body, take my bones, engage me in service, a full service. And I always felt, when will that day come that some devotees will come and ask for my blood and my bones? Like, how do you say? Just comparing an analogy. But then one day I realized that every day Krishna is actually knocking on our doors, asking us to give ourselves, give your mind in service, chant your good rounds, give your heart in service, digest Srimad Bhagavatam, give your intelligence in service, teaching Srimad Bhagavatam. Every day is an opportunity to give our bones, to give our life, to serve the Lord. So it's not just about, hey, I've reached perfection, I've reached love of God, and I'm going to go to spiritual world and enjoy there eternally. That's a very mundane, heavenly mentality. Those who want to go to heaven have that mentality. But what is Krishna? What is the devotee of the Lord mentality? Srimad Bhagavatam describes. The mentality of the Lord is Narayana para sarvena kotaschana bhibyati swarga apavarga narakeshu apitulyartha darshana. So we studied that verse in the Bhagavatam in the mornings. So a devotee of the Lord says, I'll always think and glorify the Lord, right? So here, Dhruva Maharaj is engaged in service. So this is a very practical question that we can answer with relevance to our lives too. Every day is an opportunity for approaching the Lord in prayer, asking for our needs to be taken care. Who else but Krishna can take care of our needs? But the more deep we are, the more introspective we are, it will help us to reach Krishna in a more favorable way. Instead of approaching him with mundane, passionate desires, if we look deeper and say, I'm feeling this need for what? We may ask, oh, please give me this, please give me this, please give me this, like a child, kicking and screaming because it's hungry. It's kicking and screaming in the street. I want chips, I want ice cream. And a good parent will say, wait a minute, what you need is not that. You need a good meal. Let's go. I'll cook you a nice meal at home. Similarly, we also have some wants, and Krishna is very clever. He'll look at the need. And you saw that prayer, right? It's so powerful. When we ask for strength, Krishna gives us difficulties. Have we not faced that?
So, Mataji, I have a following question. Like sometimes in our spiritual life also we see, right? Sometimes we desire something and we pray to the Lord, pray to Krishna. And maybe we forget also. At that time we feel like I really needed that, Oh, I need Krishna, give me now only. And sometimes like Krishna doesn't give immediately because he knows like he's not that like demigods, right? He's like the parent. So after sometimes we see that is not coming on our way, and we just forget and we move on with our life with other things and all. And after some time pass, we see that it's coming to us. Then at that time we may have that confusion, like whatever I asked, whether it was correct or not. Now Krishna has given, like whether it's good for us or not. Like, so how to identify at the time, because we get confused sometimes later on. Oh, I asked it, but I don't know now whether it was a good desire or not. But now Krishna is giving us. So how to take it at the time?
Very, 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 again, very practical and relevant question. The Lord is not an ATM machine. We go there and then we put the card and then we press the numbers. And then afterwards we think, oh, I don't actually need this money, but then money still comes out of the machine. Krishna is not like that. Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardhana. He actually knows how to read us through the intentions, through not only our intentions, through our actual purpose of life. And then he can detect what is required for us in that moment. Now, I have mentioned earlier also in my own personal life, I was so determined and I prayed to the Lord that I wanted to marry at a specific age to a specific person. And every day of my life, I'm grateful that Krishna didn't fulfill that request, because that person was just wrong for me, And now looking back, I'm grateful. But back then I did wonder why prayers to Krishna doesn't get answered. Just like Dhruva Maharaj, right? He was asking, how come my mother's praying so much and her prayers are not answered? Right? He thought about it when Narad Muni showed, when the mother showed the pictures of Krishna and said, this is Vishnu. He was wondering why my mother's suffering is not alleviated. So Krishna is not like some ATM machine that once we press the numbers, we have to get it. It's not like that, first of all. So this is not the category of Dhruva Maharaj. Again, he's not giving it just because he asked. He's giving it because of so many other considerations. And side effect, side benefits is that he did get what he wanted, bigger kingdom than Brahma. Like I shared also my story. I wanted a devotee better than this other person that I wanted to marry earlier, right? But Krishna somehow used whatever intentions, whatever I had, to somehow or another bring me into missionary life and preaching and Krishna consciousness. So more than 15 years of my life, I only traveled and preached, and I didn't have like a normal grihastha life, if you want to call it that way. We stayed here and there, brahmacharini ashram. I had so much service, right, opportunity. So looking back, I'm thinking, did Krishna give me something I wanted? Like my example was also like I needed shelter, right? Reaching Krishna, what does it mean, right? We need a proper shelter according to our nature. So Krishna gave me a preacher husband. That was the benediction. So now your question is about, does he, like, he's not obliged like Brahma, right? We are reading in the 7th canto how Brahma was obliged. He tells Hiranyakashipu, you have conquered me. But there are two types of conquering demigods by perfecting certain methods, and conquering Krishna with your intentions. It's two different things. When we take shelter of Krishna and we ask, please fulfill this desire, and then we forget about it, But Krishna has taken note. What was the intention behind your asking? Have you gotten that particular security? Do you still, are you qualified to be maybe engaged in a service that resembles that desire, but which will also benefit you in your progress in life and also benefit other individuals? Like I'm thinking of Radhanath Maharaj, whose nature was very shy and he didn't like to be limelight and go in front of everybody and all that. You know, his nature is like to be in harmony and peaceful. But Krishna used the qualification of Radhanath Maharaj to further the mission of Lord Chaitanya. Then he started becoming a star, and people started to like follow him so much in the world where people will usually not be open for Krishna consciousness. And that was a desire of Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. Because of the request of Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj had a strong desire. So what I'm saying is, either it's our own desire or own desire of our Guru Maharaj or desire of a devotee, for the cause of mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what happens is a different category than, oh, I had a desire. And if it was a material desire, Krishna may or may not fulfill it. But if it's a spiritual desire, he will fulfill it, because then he wants you to experience that rasa. Okay, is that helpful? Okay.
Yes, Mataji, yes, thank you.
So it's a multi-dimensional answer to your question, because see, 7th canto, what we're studying is very important to understand Krishna, the basic philosophy there and how Krishna works, because it helps us understand that things are beyond our measure and perspective and calculation. We are so insignificant. It's just a blip. Even the lifetime of Brahma is just a blip for Mahavishnu. So what to speak, Mahaprabhu comes once in a day of Brahma, right? And we are somehow lucky to have appeared now in the time that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just appeared 500 years ago. Right? And then if we look at our own insignificance in this blip, literally, in their existence, and then we consider our needs and our desires and our hankerings, which sometimes becomes everything for us. Our little trouble is everything for us. But then the Lord sees our life in not just now, here, this desire. He sees the whole picture, your previous life, your samskaras, your future lives, and what is your purpose, how you're going to change. Then considering all those things, he'll direct the movie of our life. And we are the actors. Sometimes we read the script properly, sometimes we don't read the script properly. But Krishna, he's the best director. Prabhupada also wrote, no? He said that if you brought me here to dance, then make me dance like a puppet in your hands. Srila Prabhupada wrote. So Krishna is that puppeteer. And he considers many things. What we're reading in 7th canto, he considers so many factors. Hiranyakashipu is not ordinary. He's Jaya Vijaya coming back again. So that enmity is very strong, intense. And then Krishna considers what is going to happen next, what is going to be good for everybody. He's very clever. He made the whole Kurukshetra war. He made so much elaborate plans to make everybody come in the same place at the same time so he can annihilate all the adharmic people. And then it took time. Krishna has it. He also does everything in the right time, appropriate time. Our desires may not be answered when we ask, but it will be answered when it's the right time. Krishna's time, right? Time I am, Krishna says, Kalosmi in Gita. So time factor is another beautiful consideration. And last thing on this question, because it's a very beautiful question. We should transcribe these answers. The last point is that since Krishna is time factor, since Krishna is our well-wisher, Krishna knows our past, present, and future, and he organizes everything, there's a big difference between him engaging us in service and fulfilling our desire. On the tattva level, when we take shelter of Lord, the Lord will give us what we ask. But on the rasa level, he'll increase our prema, he'll increase our devotion, he'll increase our faith. And in the whole process, he'll bring every other person into Krishna consciousness. That's why Srila Prabhupada's life and many other Acharyas' life, Haridas Thakur, so many examples where devotees were tortured or they went through such excruciatingly painful life experiences, not because Krishna is some sort of a pessimist or a narcissist that wants to see others suffer. It's just so that the great devotees can be glorified. So he will plan everything in his own sweet way for the benefit of humanity, not just our benefit. He's thinking of so many factors. Like Hiranyakashipu, why I asked yesterday, right? Why did Brahma have to give him back the body? Why couldn't he just go around with bones? So Krishna is not like an insecure person saying, okay, Hiranyakashipu, okay, one of your bones, I'll deal with you. Go ahead, enjoy a little bit of, I'll watch the fun. So Krishna is that little blue boy watching the fun and waiting to intervene in our lives too. Rajeshwari Radhika Mataji, please read this beautiful thing that you found.
One thing, isn't it that Jaya Vijay, they just want to finish these 3 lives and give the full pleasure to Krishna and do in this like full extent of the demonic nature.
What's the question? Is that just their purpose?
Yeah, I was just adding in your point that this Jaya or Vijay, they just want to finish these 3 lives. No? They got the boon to whether for the 7th life they become like a devotee of Lord or the enemies of the Lord. So they said that we want the 3 lives as an enemy of Lord. So they did in a in the way that they will finish in a quick way.
Well,
as a demon.
Well, Kantiya Prabhu said that there is no mention of that options. It was not mentioned anywhere in Srimad Bhagavatam that they had choice. It's more like a filmy thing somewhere. I'm not sure if it's mentioned in some Purana, but Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't say that Jaya and Vijaya had 2 options, whether 7 lives or 3 lives and all. It doesn't seem to be like, let's say, a fact, established fact. At the same time, see, this is it opens up another door of principle of Krishna consciousness. Sometimes we think, I just want to go back to Godhead. No, Dhruva Maharaj already achieved perfection, right? Why we have to stay around? That's again Mahaprabhu's mission. Even Brahma came back as Haridas Thakur. Narad Muni came back as Srivas Thakur. So the point is to be part of Krishna's Leela, to be part of mission of Krishna. The point is not so much because, I want to go back to Godhead, but what's the intention behind? I'm tired of my relationships here. I'm tired of working for a boss. I just want to go and peacefully enjoy. I'm just asking, it depends on our individual thing. Or is it that, I love making garlands. I love, glorifying. I love bhajans. I love so much. I like to do more and more of these services, for Krishna. I want to build a temple for Krishna. I want to make arrangements for Krishna. I like doing this so much and I want to be engaged 24 hours. 24 hours is not enough to do these things. I would like that. Which one is our intention? So Krishna sees that. So the point of Jaya and Vijaya is that they are really absorbed in their service. They're not doing it. My Guru Maharaj often says, they mean business. They mean business. See, Hiranyakashipu, he gets at his austerities and he really means business. And when Brahma comes there, he asks him the greatest of the greatest boons, right? The point is that they are living it to the fullest, which means experiencing every tiny bit of that rasa of being an enemy of Krishna and making Krishna also experience that, enjoy that intensity to the fullest. In our case, we may think, oh, I should not make offenses because offenses will delay my progress and it will make me not meet Krishna earlier, right? For them, it's like, where is this Krishna? Like complete rasa of the opposite. Anyway, I'm just saying, yes, it is to sooner reach Krishna, but in every second there is reaching Krishna in its own rasa way, in its own way, and he's going to harass people even more and more and more and more now. I mean, I'm sorry, not in what we are reading. I'm saying about in the other class about Hiranyakashipu doing more and more and more atrocities, right? Offenses, more and more offenses. So, like, I mean, your question connects with gopis also. So you may say, gopis just want Krishna. They just want missing Krishna so much. Well, if that was the problem, they could have just walked to Mathura, or they could have just gone in a car to Mathura. No, that separation is a different Vipralamba Agni, which is enhancing their devotion for Krishna more and more. They're thinking, oh, Krishna is without Vrindavan. Krishna doesn't have Yamuna there. Krishna doesn't have any of our Vrindavan gopis. Who knows how to please them? Their pain, the cause of their pain is not that they are missing enjoying with Krishna. The pain is not, I'm not in spiritual world enjoying with Krishna. The pain is, oh, Krishna is in Mathura, he's not in Vrindavan. So he's missing out so much beautiful things of Vrindavan. That is the internal mood of the gopis. Like that, So we are not so eager for ourselves. We are eager to achieve the mission of the Lord. So when we are engaged in service to further the mission of Lord Chaitanya, bring more and more people closer to Krishna consciousness, we are not just thinking, when will I go back home, go back to Godhead, all these people, I have to teach them Krishna consciousness, I have to teach them how to sing this pranam mantra properly, I have to teach them basics of Bhagavatam, I'm tired, just want to go and play in Rasalila. That's obviously not the mood of a devotee. Devotee is just enjoying every bit of bringing closer devotee to Krishna. Everything we explain, the basics that we explain, we're teaching how to roll the beads properly. All these things is part of the rasa. So Krishna consciousness is not just a destination, it's the journey. We experience the journey of Krishna's hand in everybody's life. So we're not just concerned for ourselves. Same with Hiranyakashipu, they don't know the purpose, but Krishna's purpose is everybody else around is also getting affected, and Dhruva Maharaj comes to glory, Prahlad comes to glory, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you're bringing up amazing points today. So thank you. Thank you, Churning. So let's read a little bit, at least. This is where we stopped. Here, we stopped here. So all this made him ashamed. Anybody likes to read this? Yeah, please go ahead.
Dhruva realized that to see the Supreme Lord face to face is difficult. Great sages like the four illustrious celibates, the Kumara brother headed by Sananda, practiced Ashtanga Yoga for many births to meet the Lord. However, he had achieved the same result in just 6 months. He expected Vishnu to immediately take him back to his abode. Instead, he lost that opportunity because he began his worship with material desire. Thus, he deeply lamented. He had approached the Lord who could grant a complete liberation and had been initiated into a Vishnu mantra by the great devotee Narada. That mantra is meant to elevate one to the spiritual world, but he foolishly chanted it for ephemeral material gain. This was his unhappiness.
So your question is answered here also about what Snehavati Mataji was asking. This is a mood of a devotee. We regret when we're not 100% pure, but that doesn't mean that there was no Krishna's hand behind. Nothing happens. Blade of grass doesn't move without Krishna's permission. But it's fair for a devotee to think in this way. Please continue.
He hated the gods, thinking they may have perverted his intelligence from following Narada's advice to ignore Suruchi's insult. Why would he think that? Asked Vidura. Because the gods' positions are impermanent. He thought they might envy him being elevated to Vaikuntha. He also lamented how, influenced by the illusory energy, he falsely thought of his brother and stepmother as enemy. Vidura recalled how Dhritarashtra's son had antagonized the Pandavas. Is it always wrong to think of someone as an enemy? Maitreya said, seeing other in the terms of friends and enemy is a mental construction. All living beings are the Supreme Lord's children, product of his marginal energy. It is only because we are contaminated by the modes of nature that we distinguish one spirit soul as a friend and another as an enemy. That's on the spiritual platform, replied Vidura. But when we think, when we are in material life, is it still false to think in terms of friends and enemies? Maitreya replied, a learned person sees that even on the material platform, we are the same, since all the bodies are nothing but a combination of the 5 elements. Vidura thanked Maitreya and asked him to continue explaining Dhruva's mentality. Maitreya said Dhruva knew that although it is very difficult, he had somehow managed to please.
Okay, we'll pause there for today. We'll continue what Maitreya says tomorrow. But Snehavati Mataji, this is so important. This point here, whatever is being discussed, this question, is it wrong to see people as enemies? Because you know what, the fact of matter is they are on some levels. They are enemies of our purpose. They're enemies of our peace. Some people in this world, right? They do obstruct us. They are. But then how do we balance the Bhagavatam knowledge that we should be compassionate towards somebody who is less than us? At the same time, not to not lose our compassion, but also to not give in. We're not at the service of these narcissistic people like Suruchi or Hiranyakashipu. We don't do what these people want. At the same time, we also don't develop enmity and hatred and get entangled in that bond of this kind of relational bonds. So the balance between the two is so important. We should cover this in our project that we're doing as well.
Yes, I'll note it down.
I will send you the text on the as a picture also.
Okay.
But very, very important. So should we see people in our life as enemy or not? This is very, very important. And as Maitreya is answering, it's just a mental construction to think this is an enemy, this is a friend, right? Ultimately, even if we have a most difficult person in our lives who's stopping us from doing things on another level, Krishna is increasing our desire for Krishna. The difficulties in mundane relationships are making us realize that, oh, I thought this love and this family and this and that will give me security. Krishna very soon is making me realize that, no, my dear, this is not this, what do I call it, substitute. This substitute is not the solution. Why are you going here? The sooner is better, isn't it? But still we lament, oh, I wish I had more supportive family. Yeah, but the fact of matter is, if the family was supportive, we would not do it. Krishna knows that. Yeah, I like this 2 points. Yeah. Okay, any other last questions or comments by devotees who joined us first time, like Prema Pallavi Mataji or Radha Premada? You have any other question for us?
No, Mataji, thank you. We just just grateful to you and to everyone, the prayers, because it's so relatable to our challenges and day-to-day life. So really, really grateful, because when you mentioned about these prayers, right? Some of our prayers, they come so much from the level of ignorance. And I was just messaging Radha Premprada because She's my very good friend. So last 3 days, I've been praying some nonsense things. And then I was praying, when you were sharing this, I was praying, Krishna, whatever came for the last 3 days, right? I really realized that it's from ignorance and stupidity and pain inflicted because of others. So, best, just ignore my ignorant prayers.
Yes, it's very nice. That's very nice. See, Dhruva Maharaj, 6 months later, he had transformation, and you had transformation after 6 hours. So that's great.
So that's why I'm very, very grateful to you, Mataji. Please, we are in the Eastern time zone in the US. So please let us know if there are any classes, that because I really feel nourished. And I was telling Radha Premta that's really nice, Radha Premta. Then she's like, no, even I will come, because we are really craving for that nourishment.
I will add you to the other groups because we have regular meeting classes.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah, very, very good point you brought up that, everything we discussed today is very relevant for us. When Snehamati Mataji asked this question, no, it's very relevant that, what about those desires I prayed just yesterday, and I just prayed for destruction of somebody. What do I do now? No, like, so first thing is we don't need to fear, because Krishna notices our updates also. Even gadgets, even computer can recognize an update on the computer. You think Krishna cannot? So when we have a transformation of our heart, and if we have prayed for somebody, revenge, or if we have wasted our time thinking, I want to prove to this person something or whatever nonsense, we get into tamas guna. Krishna will take a note when we have updated and upgraded our consciousness, and he will say, it's okay. I will just ignore whatever this person prayed earlier. And at the same time, from now on, now we know that Krishna will notice, and we have to be very careful to ask for pieces of glass when we can ask for diamond. So we can always ask Krishna, please protect my consciousness. Please give me the best situation so I can come closer to you. Please give me the taste to chant your holy names. Let me become more attracted to you. We should ask for bigger things, even however difficult the circumstances. These 2 prayers helps me. I'll say those prayers and we can end there for today. One prayer, every morning I say, Dear Shri Radha Madhava, I offer myself to thee to build with me and to do with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do thy will. Remove my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of thy power, thy love, and thy way of life. May I do thy will always. Of course, it's an old English, so you can replace thy with your and everything.
Mataji, you have this prayer written anywhere? Can you share it, Mataji, in the group?
I can send it in the group.
Yes, Mataji, we all need it.
And then there's another prayer. That's another of my favorite prayers. This other prayer is, Dear Lord Narasimha, today I'm willing that you have all of me, the good and the bad. Please remove every single character defect that gets in the way of my service to you and your devotees. And please give me the strength to do your will. So these 2 prayers keep me grounded no matter what circumstance I pray in this mood. And, I have my speed of praying sometimes, because in some moments I literally have few seconds. Dear Krishna, please grant me this. And, I have these prayers very quickly. I just go very quickly and I pray to Krishna that I don't want my will to be done, Krishna. I offer myself to thee to build with me and to do with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do thy will. Remove my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of thy power, thy love, and thy way of life. May I do thy will always. May I do thy will always. May I do thy will always. The reminder, Krishna knows better. Krishna knows better. Don't ask for silly things. Don't ask, something that is going to waste your time and Krishna's time. Ask for his will to be done. Ask for the strength to do his will. These are the tattoos in my eyelids, I call it. When I wake up in the morning, I ask Krishna, please, Radha Madhava, let me do your will. I've lived so many lifetimes according to my will. This one lifetime, give me the strength to do your will. Like that. So we can all have formulas, prayers stuck on your window, stuck on your door, stuck on your mirror. and keep asking. I know that self-will is one of my problems. And I think that things have to be this way, that way. No, I want to change that and say Krishna's will. I don't want my will. I want Krishna's will. Then there's no lamentation. There is no fear. Only I'm an instrument. That's the opposite of narcissism, actually, to ask Krishna to just, and yeah, thank you, Prema Pallavi Mataji's second prayer. It requires a lot of courage to go to Nrsimhadev and say, my dear Lord Narasimha, remove every single anartha from my heart. It takes some courage. But the fact of matter is, my dear friends, my dear Vaishnava Sanghis, Sadhvis, the problem is not our environment. The problem is not the people around us. The problem are not the narcissists, but whatever they trigger in us, which is not so Krishna conscious. So those anarthas, those defects that are keeping me away from service of the Lord, that is actually my problem. So if we can openly ask the Lord to remove that anartha from our heart, and as a result of all that, only I started this support groups. It was really that prayer. Krishna led me to do that. So we just open. We are just instruments. Thank you very much for your attention. So keep yourself in this good consciousness. Pray for a good consciousness, to be always attached to Krishna and to the strength to do Krishna's will. Sometimes we need the knowledge. What does Krishna want? But not only knowledge. Sometimes we need the strength. So we keep asking the Lord to give us the knowledge of His will and the strength to do it. The knowledge of His will and the strength to do it. In every circumstance, Krishna, what is your will in this situation? What do you want me to do? And please give me the strength to do your will.
Mataji, should I read that prayer?
No, I'll put it in the, which prayer?
Oh, that I wrote in the chat box. You asked me to read afterwards.
Oh, you didn't read it?
Yeah.
Please read it. Please read it. Let's end with this. It's powerful prayer.
Oh, my Lord, as powerful as fire, O omnipotent one, now I offer you all obeisances, falling on the ground at your feet. Oh, my Lord, please lead me to the right path to reach you. And since you know all that I have done in the past, please free me from the reactions to my past sins, so that there will be no hindrance to my progress.
Wow, such a powerful prayer. I'm going to put that in my desk, this prayer. I'm going to write it and put it. It's so powerful.
Thank you.
Mataji, you also you said one thing, right? What is your will in, what do we requesting, what is your will in this situation and how can I surrender to your will? That is what, okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Because sometimes we don't know what is Krishna. And then we are speculating. And what do? We chant, pick the bead bag, sit down, chant, Krishna, please reveal to me your will. It's not cheap. To know Krishna's will is not cheap. I mean, you can create your own prayers. I'll send both this I recited and this one beautiful prayer that Rajeshwari Radhika Mataji, where is this from? Can you give us where the reference?
Ishopnishad Mantra 18.
18. Thank you. I'll send all these 3 prayers, but your homework is by tomorrow, try to make your own prayer that inspires you, but a prayer that is easy or simple or really convincing for you. Do it at least for 3 months and see the difference. Complete difference there will be in consciousness.
Mataji, I have a question. If there is time, Mataji, I just want 2 minutes, if it's okay, or we can do it tomorrow. That's fine too, because I know you have other services.
Yeah, can you please?
No worries, Mataji. Please, we can discuss tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.